Hello, and welcome to the ELL Teacher Leadership course. My name is Sarah Otto, and I'm privileged to be your instructor. I come to you with over 14 years of experience in teaching English language learners and working with teachers and leaders of English language learners in schools in Wisconsin, Puerto Rico, and Massachusetts. I'm really excited to learn with you in our course together. Before we begin with reviewing some logistics of the course, I'd like to ground us in a quote, as you can see here. Just a reminder that we are always continuing to grow ourselves. The process of lifelong learning never ends, particularly as an educator. We want to model that habit of mind for our students and also for those around us. When we become a leader, we're really about expanding our circle of influence in order to have an impact on other students, systems, and practices. And we'll be really talking about this idea together in our work throughout this course. Just a quick review of our objectives as set by the Massachusetts Department of English Language Acquisition and Academic Achievement. We're really here to not just empower ourselves in our own practice of serving English language learners, but as I said before, really extend that in empowering others, particularly general education teachers, where many of our students reside in most of their day. Along with that goes the skill of advocating, as well as coaching others, and we'll talk about how to do those two skills and practice those two skills together. And underlying all of these practices is really having an asset-based, proactive belief system and corresponding set of behaviors. I know you've had a chance to look through the syllabus. If you haven't, please make sure that you do before our first face-to-face meeting. A couple reminders that this is a 45-hour professional development hybrid course where you will be earning 45 PDPs, professional development points, from the state of Massachusetts. And really, this is a hybrid course, as I said, so what it's going to look like is we're going to have 3 different kinds of ways of interacting. The first kind will be online, which is what you're going to be doing today with me for the first module. Our second module will be face-to-face, and we'll be spending a couple hours together as set forth in the dates in the syllabus. And the other kind of learning that you'll be doing is fieldwork, and you'll be experiencing part of that today in Module 1C. And fieldwork will require you to do work perhaps with other students, with other teachers, and interacting in the field to contextualize the learning to really make sense for you. And the modules will be a mix of online, face-to-face, and fieldwork experiences in order to make this relevant and personalized for you. You were encouraged to sign up in teams of 2 to 4 ELL teachers if you've been able to, if you have enough of those in your school or district. The reason for that is because we believe in the power of many. If we put our heads together, we can really get a lot done and think deeply and more collaboratively about our work. Along with that is the model that we use for collaborative inquiry. Although you'll be working on a personalized action cycle, personalized professional development course of action throughout this course and every course that Confianza does, the process of going through that action cycle is highly collaborative. So we do encourage you to be transparent in your practice, not just with the team you signed up with, and not just with me, but with everyone else in the course, so that as a collaborative professional learning community, we can help each other and really deepen our knowledge and move our practice forward. I'll review that action cycle in just a moment. And another little reminder that we have the pre and post course assessments, and those are really essential, not just for you to look at marking your growth throughout the course, but really for me and for the state to see, what we're doing, if it's working, how it's working, and what are the shifts in practice and mindsets that we want to enact for you and on those around you in your schools and districts. So if you have not done the course pre-assessment, I'd like for you to stop this module and go ahead and do that right away. It was sent to you in the welcome email last week. Thank you. Okay, so a brief review of the action cycle that we use at Confianza, and we will be going much more into depth in our first face-to-face meeting next week, and we will be working through this action cycle together, as I said, to analyze problem practice that you have in your school. The action cycle is basically what we call 4 A's: ask, analyze, act, and assess, and it's really based around the model of inquiry. And inquiry drives continuous improvement. So first, what we do is we ask a question. We think about what is within our circle of concern, what is within our power to change. That is really a dilemma concerning students and ourselves in order to provide more equity for our English language learners. And once we get a handle on that actual question, we want to ground it in evidence and make sure that we've analyzed the data to ensure that it really is a true problem or challenge that we can do something about, and that we've looked at multiple measures of data to ensure that we're looking at systems, student demographics and achievement data, all sorts of data that we'll talk about to make sure that it's really actionable. And through the analyze step as well, we'll be looking at determining appropriate courses of action to address this dilemma. Then the third step, as you can see, is to act on it. So we really want to come up with an appropriate action plan, which we'll be working with your peers to do that and myself, so that we're really focusing on what we can change, and we're coming up with an appropriate action plan that can really make a difference. And once we do that, we go to the fourth step, which is to assess, really reevaluate and tune. What did we do? Did it work? What could be done better? What can we continue to do? And we do continue to go around the cycle as a habit of mind in our practice as educators. But what you'll be doing is you'll be going through this formally as a project for this course. And again, we'll be reviewing this a lot more together in person next week. But I wanted to give you a quick overview so you could see the overarching cycle of continuous improvement that we do use. And in order to frame you for this work, we're going to work on Module 1 today. So Module 1 is going to have 3 parts, as you can see, 1A, 1B, and 1C. Okay, and we're going to start Module 1A in just a moment, where we're going to introduce each other and work on personal mission statements as ELL educators. After that, we're going to talk about belief systems, because that's really, really critical for starting our work. Before we get into instructional strategies and coaching strategies and collaborative inquiry, we really want to think about what is our personal belief system about what we can change, what we can't change, and really the wisdom to know the difference. The final module, the final portion of this module, rather, is 1C, which will be some field work that I'll explain that you'll be doing and preparing for our first face-to-face meeting. All right, let's get started. So Module 1A is really about getting to know you, getting to know each other, and like I said, coming to formulate your own personal mission statement as an ELL educator. These are the questions that you're going to be answering. You will see below this video there's a Google form that you will individually fill out and submit when you're ready. You can also see at the bottom below that there's a way to actually see what everyone else has written, because this isn't just for me, right? This is a collaborative community of practice, and we really want to make sure that everyone gets to know each other. In our first face-to-face meeting, we'll be talking about our norms, but one of them is transparency of practice and also confidentiality. So please understand that everything that you share with us will stay within this course and be shared with the course participants. If Confianza shares any of the products that you develop, particularly in your action cycle and some of the data that you glean from your project, I will be forthright in that and get permission from you to do so. But in the meantime, please know that this is confidential. We'd love to learn what is your current role, a little bit about the demographics of your students, and then really being honest about yourself at this point in time. Do you consider yourself a teacher leader? And if you don't, that's perfectly okay. I mean, that's really why we're here, is to hone and develop those skills. But we'd really like to know why or why not. And then along with that, what is it that you expect out of this course? Not just why did you sign up in order to get the PDPs, but what is it that you really hope to walk away with in terms of skills, behaviors, capacities, and any questions that you have. You can put in that area too. And then finally, take some time to consider your personal mission statement as a teacher. So what does that mean? Our schools have mission statements, our districts, companies have mission statements, but what is your personal mission statement as a teacher? I could say that mine as a teacher educator is to empower teachers to improve their own practice and therefore to impact the success of their English language learners. That's what I strive to do. That's what I try to enact. That's my belief that I can do that given the right conditions and resources and the right participants. So that's a little bit about me, and I'll share with you a little bit more as we work together. But please take the time to answer these questions in the Google form below. Thank you.